After Yerushalayim was destroyed by the Romans, first in the what's called the Great Revolt that and the destruction that we're commemorating during these 3 weeks, and even more so after the Bar Kokhba Revolt, which happened about 75 years later, Yerushalayim was completely destroyed, nechrisha ha'ir, in the words of the rabbis, and replaced with a pagan city called Ilia Capitolina. It was built as a Roman city. They literally destroyed the whole city and built a different city in its place. That city is the city that still remains. The streets of Jerusalem's old city today are the main streets of Ilia Capitolina, amazingly. It had a cardo, a main street, and this part of the cardo is an extension that was built later on during what's called the Byzantine period. It was a big thoroughfare. You see here some of the original pillars on both sides. There were shops. Over there you have some artists' renditions of what it might have looked like, stores and things like that. And we have here also this mural that tries to represent for us what Yerushalayim might have looked like during this Byzantine period. And you see here a large shopping street with people, animals, etc. You see that Yerushalayim was a cosmopolitan city. People came from all over the world. You see people dressed in different types of clothing and looking very different. There's actually only one group that lived in this area at this time that's not in this picture. Who would that be? The Jews. Because the Jews were banned from Yerushalayim at that time. Yerushalayim at this point was a Christian city. The Byzantines, we call them, are just the Romans after they convert to Christianity. Yerushalayim was a Christian city, and Jews are not allowed. There was only one day a year that they made an exception to that rule. The Byzantines allowed Jews into Yerushalayim on one single day. They had to pay a special tax, an entrance fee, if you will, to get into the city. Anyone have any idea what day that was? On Tisha B'Av. On Tisha B'Av, the Christians allowed the Jews to enter so they could ascend the Temple Mount and sit near the ruins of the Beit HaMikdash and cry and mourn. And from a Christian perspective, that was worth doing because they were able to point to the Jews and say, look, these people are a relic of the past. They're finished. They're the past, and God's presence has abandoned them and moved on. That was the Christian theology at the time, at least.